What the hell was Trish doing in Lance's comments anyway? Let's get into the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, child. The tea is hot. What's up, y'all? It's your girl V with Reality Recap here for another Tea Talk session. And today we are talking about the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. This episode aired this past Friday, April 4th. This is season 11, episode 5, titled Kissing Cousins. Very fitting, I guess. Before we get into it, let's take care of a little bit of business. Make sure you're following me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. What you see at the bottom of your screen, reality_recap. And make sure you like this video, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's also coming across the screen at Reality Recap 2876. It's linked in all the bios on my social media platforms. So you and set your alerts so you don't miss any of my Tea Talk sessions recapping all of the hottest and trending reality TV shows, honey. Now let's get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. I've been a little quiet on this season, but I am watching faithfully still. Not sure why at times. Some episodes are better than other, but this episode I was cackling and hollering. The amount of just lies and foolery in this episode was just uncanny to me. Let's get into it. Where's my notes, honey? So we had Marceau sit Tisha down. We saw earlier in the season where Tisha, and I do feel like Tisha's done this a few times, where she will dress up shade or gossip as if she's in support of someone and that's supposed to make it okay. And I'm just not buying it. I'm really not. So we saw earlier in the season where Trish and Tisha sat down, and Trish was talking to Tisha about how people are telling Ken that she's cheating on him, that they saw her out with another muscle guy at a restaurant. And Tisha took that opportunity to say, well, and she dressed it up again as like support or positivity, where she said, well, just like he shouldn't listen to what they with the internet or people in the streets are saying about you. Tell him people are saying things about him too. Someone came to me and said, Ken need to stay out of these women DMs. But you shouldn't believe that. And Trish's face was like, ooh. Now, yes, granted, Ken and Trish are on some type of break. They are, like Destiny said, every 3 damn days. He has moved out and got his own apartment. Is it month to month? Did he sign a lease? Because the back and forth is just too much for me. They can't seem to get it together. They're in therapy. That doesn't seem to be going well, if I'm being honest, but they're in therapy. And he's calling her a liar. She's calling him a liar. She's saying that he doesn't trust her, or he's asking, like, oh, you sure you in the gym? It sound like I hear a bed squeaking. It's like, but they keep trying to make it work. But I want us to remember Trish is still not divorced. When are you getting divorced, girl? We don't have your ex on the show anymore. When are you getting divorced? Didn't we see you send that off with a courier last season? Why isn't it handled yet? Let me guess. It's your strange husband holding it up. It's not you. It's not that you don't want it. So don't talk to me about anything with Ken and wanting babies, and I don't want to hear none of that because you're still married. Okay? But yeah, the therapy isn't going well to me at all. But anyways, Marcel set Tisha down because Ken went to Marcel like, yo, what's up with your wife telling Trish that I'm in DMs and I'm talking to women? Which seems to be true, if we're being honest here. Trish did question Ken about it, and Ken is saying, "Well, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm completely innocent, but I never met up with anyone or took it any further than that. It's just positive comments of my workout and back and forth. Nothing that serious or that deep." He even went on to say later in the episode how he's not gonna say he doesn't respond to DMs because he gets a lot of inquiries for podcasts. So I'm gonna DM Kim for an interview because he answers inquiries and DMs for podcasts. So let me go ahead and send mine. I might have to unblock him because I know I had him blocked on Instagram because he was being rude in my comments to my followers. But yeah, let me go ahead and send that over there and see if I can get an interview since he's answering inquiries and about his workout routine and eating regimen and all those inquiries. He only answers the inquiries, okay? Yeah, right. But he did say, he's not innocent and he has been talking in the DMs, especially when they're on a break or he's moved out. I guess that gives him free range to do whatever he wants, apparently. So there is some truth to it. But Marceau was telling Tisha, like, listen, we can't be the bone carriers. We can't be the ones bringing mess back because what if someone did that to you? Or if the shoe was on the other foot? Or remember when everybody was saying that Marceau was cheating, that picture in the hotel that was his back. All of those things, she didn't like it and it caused stress and strain on their marriage. So we meaning them don't want to do that to another marriage. I'm gonna be honest, it was just giving Marceau was saying, "Hey, keep the heat off of me. We finally got the heat off of me. I'm cracking jokes. The people seem to like me this season. Don't put the heat back on me with you starting nonsense so the people start digging up my nonsense." That's what it's given to me. I could be wrong, but that's just what it's given to me. Keep the heat off of me is what he's asking. Tisha was still trying to justify, but I wasn't saying it like that. I was just saying, hey, they shouldn't listen if he shouldn't listen to what they're saying, then she shouldn't listen to what he's saying. I told she always dressing up shade and gossip as support. Just going to be shady, Tisha, because we all know that's what you're doing. She knew exactly what she was doing. We saw Nell, Destiny, and Trish catch up about Destiny's trip to Detroit, which I want to commend Destiny for letting us see her family dynamic and her meeting all her siblings and learning that she's, in this big sister role now. And even the hard conversations with her mother who struggles with addiction. She really let us in to her life. And it's a hard thing probably for her to share. So seeing that was a great part of the show, is seeing that real rawness of her family dynamic. So hats off to her for showing that. So she was coming back and telling them about her trip and they're catching up. And Destiny is telling Nell and Trish that Martell let her know that Ken be in the DMs. So it's starting to spread all over about Ken in these DMs. It's spreading everywhere. And she's telling, like, yeah, Martell told me that. Because Martell as well. He's in the background of every scene, laughing, making a comment. Don't want nobody to be with a woman, want everybody outside, want the drama to be about everybody else because he's still in revenge mode for him blowing up his whole life and it playing out on national TV and him leaving his woman for the side chick. And that ain't working out every other day. They like Ken and Trish. They breaking up every 3 days. And she's still not able to come film. So anywhere there's mess, Martell is there to spread the gossip. So apparently Martell told Destiny about Trish telling, Tisha telling Trish about Kim being in DMs. It's like a telephone game. It's just going around and around and around. And Trish, I'm gonna be honest, Trish is not good for reality TV. Trish has a great storyline, but she doesn't articulate herself well at all. Like, she talking too fast. You can't understand what she's saying. She backpedaling and all over the place. Like it's just a it's not her presence, her articulation of her story is not good for TV. Like I said, great storyline to tell, but it's just I'm getting tired of trying to figure out what the hell is she saying and what's going on. She's telling us that they off, but then they talk, but then she didn't know about the DMs, but then they talked about the DMs, but then they move out, but they doing okay, but they in counseling, but then Kim wants a baby. Huh? It's just all over the place. I don't think she's a good storyteller. Her confessionals, it's always hard to understand what she's talking about and what's actually happening. She needs to work on that a little bit. If we're going to keep continuing to follow this storyline of her and Ken and her not getting the divorce and him giving grace and in DMs, I need her to be able to articulate what is going on cuz I didn't understand anything she was saying. Also in that conversation, Nell tells Destiny that she knows that she was outside of her house in her driveway talking to Lance, and that his baby mama knows, and she wasn't feeling that. Destiny didn't seem too phased about it. She said, listen, that's between him and her, and he needs to deal with that. We're just friends. And she said, I'm like a therapist to him. He tells me, he unloads what's going on, probably in his relationship with his baby mama, what's going on in his life. And she listens and gives advice. And lo and behold, we find out that Trish is doing the same thing. She ministering to Lance too. She's listening to his problems. They talk, and Nell didn't know that at all. She was shocked, and so was I, to find this out that they have been talking and communicating. Yeah, very interesting. So that was something we found out. And then, Nell decides, what, she's going to go sit down with Lance because Nell is all in her children's grown business. I'm telling Nell, you need to step back, honey, because it felt like the baby mama in this episode was really trying to use Nell to be on her side, as if Nell can make Lance do whatever it is that she wants him to do, which is just not the case. But Nell is concerned for Lance. She feels like he's not home with his children enough, that he's always outside. He's going clubbing. He's doing a lot of drinking. He's not doing the things around the daycare that she needs. She's finding out that he's still talking to Destiny. He's talking to Trish. And he shows up to this sit down with a huge gash across his nose, and he want us to believe that on that day he didn't eat, he was famished and horse playing and fell. Boy, you was drunk. Who you fooling? Your mama already said you drink too much. You were drunk. Just say that. Like, ain't no way you got that huge gash across your nose from horse playing on a day that you were famished and hadn't eaten much. Like, stop playing. Stop it. That's what I'm saying. I was just laughing at, like, it was just a bunch of lies in this episode. And I was just looking at this TV like, y'all can't be serious. Y'all cannot be serious. Like, boy, please. But then Lance goes on to talk about, and he's making this a part of his storyline, how he felt like a comment that Trish left under his post. He didn't give the specifics of what it is that he posted. I wonder if I could find it. Probably. It's probably posted some time ago now because, you know, this was already filmed and he's talking about it. But he posted on his page, and apparently Trish left 3 heart eyes emoji and a licky emoji, like the tongue out emoji. And he thought that it was inappropriate. Inappropriate enough that he had to come tell us on national TV. And he said that he's, friends with Ken. He has respect for Ken. So he called Ken to let Ken know about the emojis. And he said when he called Ken, Ken was like, all right, cool. Let me call you back. Ken don't have no time. You're not changing Ken's mind about Trish, okay? That's one thing we know. You're not changing Ken's mind about Trish and nothing that she does. And whatever she does, he's going to believe her story. I don't even know why he moved out and got an apartment. He's going to continue to wait for her to get a divorce. He's going to keep going back to her after they argue. I don't even know why he went and got an apartment. And I promise you that apartment is probably on a month to month or even week to week basis. It's probably not even an apartment, it's just an Airbnb. So he can go back whenever they make up again. But he's not gonna believe anything you say about Trish. So he hit him with the let me call you back and then never call him back. So Lance is deciding if he's going to take it a step further and tell everybody, which he's already started that train by telling Nell. Once you tell Nell, the whole neighborhood going to know anyway. But he's telling Nell and his sister, and she looks at it, and his sister, analyzing and saying, "Yeah, well, that is inappropriate. That is a sign of flirting to be sending heart eyes and little licky emoji, little emoji." So yeah. I don't know the age difference between Trish and Lance. I mean, they both grown consenting adults, but a little weird if you ask me. So now we have Lance's birthday party coming up with all of this on the table. These DMs that Ken is in, these emojis that Trish is putting under Lance's page, all of this while we are headed into a birthday party. Perfect timing for the drama to unfold, but it's just giving like, my gosh, this is a messy couple, Ken and Trish. Like, they're so messy. Like, not only do they have their own mess and their own problems, it's just spilling out into other things, and it's just taking over the show at this point. Um, what else did we see in this episode? Also in that conversation, right, with Nell and with Lance, Nell is trying to tell him again, like, how he needs to be at home more with his kids. He needs to stay from outside. And he's basically telling her he a grown man gonna do what he want. It's just giving that he's getting a little fame from this TV show, and I'm sure once that happens, y'all know how it goes. The DMs are flooded, the girls are coming, they think got the money, and they're showing on the show how he owns his own business and all of that. Never mind how many kids and baby mama he got. He is outside and enjoying the TV fame life. That's what it's given, and he's not seemingly wanting to settle down at this point. And even if he did tell his baby mama that they were exclusive and things were going well, he done got a taste of that outside life and he done changed his mind about being exclusive. That's what it's given. So just let him be. Just let him be. So we're at this birthday party and Nell corners Lance again with the baby mama. And this is what I was saying, where the baby mama seems to talk to Nell a lot and think that Nell can ring Lance in, and they cornering him on, well, you're in an exclusive relationship. Are y'all exclusive? Do you want to be with her? You can't just be going out and staying out all night long if you're saying you're in an exclusive relationship. And it doesn't seem like he wants that. And his baby mama seems to be one. She wants to be courted. She doesn't want the only time they spend together is with the kids. She wants dates. She wants romance. And he is like, well, I hang out with you when I'm with the kids. And yeah, I go outside and I don't think there's a problem with that. And he's saying, like, well, I mean, I am here with you. I didn't see y'all walking together. He don't want to be tied down. So she should just, again, let him be. Also at the party, we saw Tish apologize to Ken and Trish. They sat down and, with Marcel being a mediator to make sure that he get the heat up off of him, he gonna go ahead and get this apology together. So Tisha, she apologizes to them And she again tries to justify why she said it and how it was supposed to be just, hey, you don't listen to them. You don't listen to them. She's still riding with that narrative that it was not to be messy. And in the meantime, while they're having this conversation, Lance is telling Martell, Chris, Marcel, Maurice, he's telling them about these emojis that Trish put under his picture. And Ken walks up to the conversation. And I told you, Ken is not going to believe it. He says that, he already figured what they were talking about. He's already had a conversation with Trish about it. And Trish says she fat fingered that emoji, the licky emoji. What about the heart ones? Because those weren't necessary either and inappropriate. Not to mention, she's supposed to be cousins with Lance. Now, I know they were making jokes like it's not like they first, second cousins. They might be fourth, fifth, sixth cousins. So, and some people believe that at that point it don't matter no more, but it does. So all of those were inappropriate. But that's the story that Trish has told. That's why I said more lies, a bunch of nonsense, and all I did was cackle this entire episode. But she talking about so she fat fingered that. So you didn't go and delete the comment, you left it. What sense does that make? But that's the story Trish gave, and that's the story Kim believing that she fat fingered them emojis. Child, please, please. So lastly, at the birthday party, all the women sit down, they're talking, and again, Tisha is trying to dress up, gossip as positivity. And I really thought that she was going somewhere. I tell you, with these own shows with Carlos, he take us up to bring us down every single time. So Tisha's like, I want to know, how can we show up for each other where it will be received? How can we support each other? And I'm thinking this is off the backs of them going to Detroit to support Destiny, right? Yeah, and behold, she's like, yeah, because we see what's out there now about Chris getting his real estate license revoked. What? That's where you took us? Child, listen. Nell seemed like, first of all, Nell is overwhelmed by everything with Lance and taking care of his kids and trying to be in his business and trying to take care of her daycare. Now Chris done lost his real estate license. Her income is the only one coming in. And I ain't even gonna say that. He may have other business ventures as well, but his main bread and butter is now gone. And she's side eyeing Tisha, in my opinion, but she's so overwhelmed that she starts to cry and she walks off, and they're all in the bathroom saying, "We're here for you. We're gonna support you." Tisha, again, you knew what you was doing. Right? You knew what you was doing. And if y'all want to know what's going on with Chris's license, at this point they still show revoked. I gave you guys on TikTok and on Instagram a full breakdown of the I don't know what to call it, violations against him. There's like 6 of them, I believe, of, just dishonesty, not reporting things to the real estate agency, like a lot of things that was going on. There was fines for all of them. Someone said in my comments, like, once it's revoked, that's it. Like, I know he said on the show that he has lawyers working on it and that he briefly spoke on how he had a business deal with a friend that he shouldn't have trusted and got him into this predicament. But if you need a breakdown of those charges, it's on my TikTok. It's on my Instagram page and Facebook page as well, if you need a breakdown of all of them. But I don't know if he's going to get it back, because it was back in 2025 that this happened. They've already filmed and it's still showing revoked to this day. So some people were saying, like I said in my comments, where, if he still had a chance to get it back, it would say like suspended, but it says revoked. I don't know how true that is, but as of right now, he still has lost those license. So she's overwhelmed. I just hope that again that these women are going to actually support her. But I felt like Tisha knew exactly what she was doing by saying it. But she always dressing up gossip as positivity and support. Girl, stop it and just ask the questions because that's what Nell does to y'all. She wants y'all to be transparent. She wants y'all to tell your business and feel like y'all ain't telling all that's going on in your life. So just ask her the questions the same way she would do y'all. That's how I felt. But this season is interesting, honey, since they came back from their break. It's funny. It's a bunch of lies. I can't wait for the reunion because there ain't gonna be nothing but more lies. But I'm seated. I'm watching. I'm giving it a chance and giving it a shot, letting them lie to me every Saturday. That's how I feel. But yes, that is my thoughts on the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let's take a little bit of business break before I get out of here. Again, please make sure you're following me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. What you see at the bottom of the screen, reality_recap. And like this video, please share this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's coming across the bottom of the screen, Reality Recap 2876. And I'm here for the business inquiries, the interviews, the media. I am here. My media kit is linked in my Instagram and TikTok and Facebook bios for you guys to review. And you can help support in a monetizing way. You see the Cash App, $ Reality Recap to help me to continue to grow, travel to events, evolve in my technology. And I appreciate all of your support. Now, as I always say, reality TV stars are humans too. Let's not forget that. It's your girl V with Reality Recap. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.